Hey, what's up, y'all? So we are back for Ambitions. Listen, I didn't know they was gonna hit us with 2 episodes. I was pleasantly surprised when I clicked on the last one, and when it started to show the previews, I was like, oh, "Wait, when did that happen?" So I had to hurry up and get off so I wouldn't spoil it. But they gave us episodes 16 and 17. So yeah, that's where we are. And listen, I'm not the type to apologize for like real life things happening, but I just want to let y'all know because I know it bothers some people. I do have a bit of a little cold, so I may be like clearing my throat or something like that. Also, my chair that I'm sitting in, it squeaks a little bit. So, that's what it is. So I just let y'all know in advance. Anyway, on to the episode. So Stephanie, and shout out to Ms. Robin Givens, who is 55 years old, according to Wikipedia. Shout out to her and her snatched body. Listen, Ms. Robin Givens is doing it. She looks doggone good. So do all of these people on this show. It's a nice looking cast, but I just had to put that out. That was like 55. Like I know some people who are in their 50s and they look like they're in their 80s. So anyway, Ms. Robin Givens, well, Stephanie, she goes into her father's office and she's confronting him, letting him know that he needs to help her out. Well, not help out, but hey, y'all. What's this dude's name? Peters. Get Peters him to deal with the mess of having involvement in Senior's death. And Mr. Carlisle is like, look, I'm going to take care of it. And she's pressuring him to hurry up and get that taken care of. And, of course, the doggone garbage truck is outside, too. So, all right. Evan goes and meets with Rondell, and I love the scenes with Evan and Rondell because he's so endearing towards her. You get to see his human side and see that he really does have a heart when it comes to his family. So while they're talking about the will and all this, how Darcia is causing problems for them, a detective comes and lets them know that they have made an arrest in the killing of Senior, and they show the picture of this dude named Cairo, who is from the hood, and Rondell was like, man, he looked familiar. I know him from around the way, and it's sad that somebody from around our area would do that to our father, and it does look like a robbery because he had the ring that Senior was going to propose with on him, and also he had Senior's wallet. And Evan is not buying it. Evan like, look, I know Greg Peters has something to do with this, and I'm going to need you to figure this out, or I'll get some other detective who is willing to look further into this because I know that it was something to do with those people. And she's like, of course, I'll get to it. Amara is downstairs chatting with Titus, and Amara is so annoying, girl. Like, she has the worst timing and she just does too much. So she tells Titus that she met with Damien. She went to his apartment, and then she lets it be known that it was an unauthorized visit. Like, how stupid are you? And see, if it was me, I would have blew on Amara. Like, I would have went off on her because I'd have been like, what's wrong with you? Like, you still got feelings for this dude? Because you keep putting yourself, if you so scared of him and he's such a psychopath, why do you keep getting in his face like that? I know you had old boy with you, but still, why would you jeopardize your case and all that? Like, it looks weird. And yeah, it's just so stupid. So she's determined to figure out that Stephanie has some type of involvement with Damien recording them. Perla, the demon, she goes, I didn't know she was living with Perla. Dang. These names, like everybody's names is like P's and Luz and crap. All right, Perla is living with Bella because she's trying to help her through her trauma with Joaquin being kidnapped. And Bella is tight. She like, look, I know. Like, why would you go and tell Evan about me and Ignacio messing around? What's up with that? And Perla tries to play it off. First, she said it slipped out. Then she said, well, I wanted him to know you have options. Like, you ain't just sitting around waiting for him. And Bella catches on and she was like, wait, which one is it? Is it you wanted him to know I had options or it just slipped out? Like, I'm tired of you and all your lies. And Perla tries to weasel her way out of it. And Bella is not here for it. She was like, look, I'm about to go. You need to be out of here when I come back. Of course, Perla does not like that. And she has some plans. And I was like, Bella, girl, you in trouble. So Stephanie, at this point, finds out that there has been an arrest made in Senior's killing, and she knows it's some bull swanky. Shout out to, I don't know who I get that from, but one of these reviewers say bull swanky. Anyway, so she's like, Daddy, look, I know you had something to do with this. This got your name written all over it. Why are you helping these people? Like, they need to be punished for what they did. And he's like, look, Stephanie, this is why I couldn't trust you with nothing like this, and you not ready to run his firm and all that because you don't know how to play the game. You too emotionally involved. Sometimes you just gotta let stuff go because he has dealings with the Peters people, and he wants to keep their relationship together. So I think Mr. Carlisle did it personally, but we'll talk about that later. So Stephanie like, look, I'm gonna take care of this. And that look she gave him when she walked out, like when she looked at turned her head, it was priceless. So Stephanie like, I'm gonna deal with it because you not, and I don't have time to be waiting on you. Back at the Purefoy office, Titus is being G-checked by Mr. Purefoy, and he's telling him, look, don't you forget who brought you in here because they are about to meet with the board members, and Titus is lead counsel. So they are about to meet with him to decide what they're going to do, like if they're going to settle with this thing with the Carlisles, this lawsuit, or if they're going to take the case to trial. And he tells him, look, I brought you in here. He kind of gave him like the little speech your mama gave you, like, I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. But I was like, Titus, you need to let him know that you're not just no little punk. And side note, does Titus have a Beijing, like, in some parts of his hair, like, it looks like it's thinning, and like on his beard, it looks weird. I hate the way that looks because it looks fake. And he could pull off a bald head. So Titus, if you're going through that, honey, let it go. It's cool. You can do it. You don't need all that extra. So the board members come in and they are not feeling this because they, have all their investments and all that. And they know how bad this can look for Purefoy and also how it could reflect on them. And Purefoy is like, oh, look, it's going to blow over after a while. Y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. So they ask Titus what he thinks they should do. And Purefoy is like, remember what I told you. Titus gets up, makes this big old demonstration, like he got to take a deep breath and he about to make a speech. And he says, well, I agree with Purefoy dude here. And he feels satisfied. And then he says, but I agree with y'all too, that we need to, I don't know if he says settle, forgive me, I'm not too keen on the legal terms, but basically like just pay them off and get this over with because it's going to blow over. But the damages in, like, while they wait for it to blow over, may be too much for the company to handle. Purefoy don't like that. He goes and confronts Titus, knocking stuff off his desk. And I was like, Titus, if you don't stand up and tell him to chill out. But Titus just took it, and he's upset and mad like he always is. But don't do nothing. Him and Rondell, they famous for that. So Ignacio comes over to Bella's home, and Bella is tight with him. I told y'all, she tight with everybody and throwing everybody out this episode. So she knows, she's like, look, cut the BS, because I already know that you don't have no power, that all this stuff you was talking about with your brother, that your brother is the one in charge. And he explains to her that it did go down with him and his brother having disagreement about how the business should be ran. And the brother is the more creative one, but he's the more business one. And he feels that Bella can bring new energy and new life into the company. And Bella was like, I do too. And your brother does too. So she already did talk to the brother. And he was like, wait, you talk to my brother? How'd that go? Bella then pulled a fast one on him. So she already had the brother on board. And she tells Ignacio, look, you need to go. He's trying to explain to her that the brother isn't right, Constantine or whatever his name is. And brother was like, no, that sounds like you. You sound like the one who is deceptive. So I'm not dealing with you no more. I have everything I need. Bye bye. Mr. Carlisle comes over, and this was so funny. The way he pushed that little Evan's secretary out the way, like he had his arm over her head, was like, get out the way, excuse me. And he bogarts his way into Evan's office. And to me, this whole scene, like when you get into it with somebody and or y'all may have like some type of little low-key disagreement, but you still don't know how they feel about you afterwards, so you try to talk to them, you try to spark up any conversation to kind of feel them out. This is where how I think this conversation between them two, like the purpose of it was. So Mr. Carlisle comes over and talks to Evan and like, look, I know I heard they got somebody that they got the person that shot your daddy, and y'all can put all this to rest and all that. And Evan is not buying that. He like, man, you think I'm stupid? I know you got something to do with this. I'm going to prove it. And you need to get on out of here. Like, how could you come in my face, lie to my face like that, and disrespect my daddy and all that? And Mr. Carlisle said, I didn't even know your daddy. And see, that part was strange to me. Why would he say he didn't? Like, Evan knows who knows his daddy, right? But he said, I didn't know your daddy. We shared, but we shared grandchildren together and all that. How could you accuse me of things like that? And Evan said, look, man, just go ahead and get out of my face, and I'm gonna figure this out. And Evan looked like he was about to cry, and he had his little daddy, the little chess piece. I was like, oh, that really did touch me. All right, this heifer here, Natasha. Y'all, I'm tired of her character. I really hope she's gone for good, because to me, it's a played, it's a delayed type storyline with this woman who is this like foreign woman who is the big bad boss, and she has everything under control and all that stuff. And then she keeps bringing up how Greg used to touch her, and they had this little sexual relationship. It's played out like we already got over the shock of that. It's stupid. So Greg is like, look, get out of my house. Why are you up in here with this dude? And I really didn't pay attention to this scene except when she said she was going to kill Stephanie. But she did kind of hint that she didn't, like, it was like she didn't have anything to do with Senior's death, but she didn't really claim it. It was real funny. I don't think Natasha had anything to do with that. And she was like, but when I kill Stephanie, you going to be the first one to know about it. So Greg gets upset. You can see that he's moved. But I said, oh, Greg loves Stephanie. So Stephanie comes over, and she acting like she all about it, looking for Natasha, like she gonna deal with her. And she's saying, I don't care if you got your little side pieces over here. I'm about to let it be known that Stephanie is in the building, and where's Natasha so I can deal with her. Greg said, look, you don't need them type of problems. Go ahead on. I got it. And she was like, you better take care of this. And Greg was like, I don't know who crazier, her, Natasha, or Stephanie, because they both crazy. I was like, I think Stephanie won in the crazy category. Natasha is just like a little demonic, but I think Stephanie is really crazy. Hold up, y'all. I got to get some tea. Hold up. Sorry about that. So Daphne is over here with Amara. And remember, she had agreed to testify against Evan as well as Greg Peters so that she can be protected and also save herself from whatever legal consequences. So Amara is confronting her, asking her questions about their involvement. She does implicate Evan. She does mention their sexual relationship and all that. But when it comes to Mr. Greg Peters, Daphne hit him with,
I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
So, my little thing was delayed. I wish I had a better what do you call that? Better connection. But that was my little joke. Y'all don't know I felt played because it was buffering, but I'm gonna leave that in there and leave it just like that. But that was that Kiki Palmer clip. I was so bucked up like it was gonna work anyway. So she does not want to mention Greg's involvement in this. Greg and got to her, and Amara is pissed. She like, look, I know Greg and got to you, so you need to go ahead on and say what's up because you agreed to do this. I can't stand her eyebrows. Ugh. I know she got that little small head and she probably don't have that much natural eyebrows, but that looks ridiculous. So she's like, look, I'm taking this off the table, this protection. You on your own since you don't want to agree to anything. That's on you. I don't have time for this. You wasting my time. And she was like, I don't know, Greg. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I never heard of Greg. Leave me alone. And Amara just gets pissed off and leaves her, to deal with herself. Now, we have this car parking lot scene, and if you are a fan of Power, I am a big fan of Power. You know it goes down in the parking lot. Like somebody always got in the parking lot. I thought Natasha was going to come up from behind and slit Daphne's throat, but that's not what happened. Daphne calls Greg and lets him know, I did what you said to do. Now, can you tell your cousin to leave me alone? And he was like, thank you for your services. I'm going to call you back. So we don't know where she stands with that. So hopefully you in the clear, Daphne, because things about to get bad for you. Amara and Titus are at home chilling after work, and she's telling him about the case and how Daphne flipped. And they get a news bulletin. And it's Evan looking as mayoral as he can be. And he's having a, what do you call this, like a press conference or something? I don't know what you call this, but he's giving them a report saying that he's aware of a member of his team or cabinet, whatever you call it, obstructing justice, referring to Daphne, and he's getting ahead of the game, letting them know that Daphne is fired. And Amara is immediately pissed. She's like, oh, you dirty dog. So he done pulled a fast one on it. Evan is 2 steps ahead of Amara and them, so she gonna have to fix this because now it's like he turned the tables on them, so it's gonna look like Daphne was just lying because she was getting back at Evan because he got ahead of it before Amara had a chance to prosecute them or whatever she does. I hope that made sense. All right, Miss, hold up, y'all. I got to drink again. This is going to be like one of the most bootleggers of my reviews, but hey. So Rondell at sleeping, and she hears some noise. So she goes downstairs to Thelma's place, and Garcia then turned it into a whole juke joint. They got dancing, they even got security, they got gambling, drug deals, somebody snorting powder. It was just, I was waiting for Sugar Gamer to come out the back and be like, sister. Like it was just that type of vibe. And Rondell's like, oh, hell no. Y'all, Garcia, when she came out counting that money, I thought she was going to make it rain. I was cracking up. She was real serious about counting that money with that blunt in her hand. And Rondell confronts Garcia. Garcia said, look, I know how to get the people what they want and how to make some real money around here. And she was like, of course I got to give you a little cut. And she gives Rondell $1. Rondell pulls out that gun, but does not, she cocks it, but does not bust off or nothing. I said it before. I'm tired of Rondell and her foolishness. I'm tired of it. That's why nobody don't take you seriously. If you would have bust a cap in her big behind, she would know not to play with you, but you sitting up there with all that foolishness. So Rondell runs everybody out. Garcia tells her, look, I know how to make money. I'm going to do it how I see fit around here, and you just going to have to deal with it because I'm a 50% owner of Thelma's place. And Rondell's like, look, why don't you just go home? Why did you take the $500,000 and go back to Chi-Town and leave me alone? Garcia is upset because when her father passed away, Evan didn't help her, and neither did Rondell. And I was like, Rondell, why you didn't help your cousin or be there for her? I know that they said she had some type of gambling issue, so I could see Evan because he's stuck in bougie, but Rondell seems nice, so like she was stepping for family. So I wonder why she just didn't reach out or help the lady. Well, maybe she ain't had the money. Well, we know she ain't had the money, but still, Anyway, Darcia gets up, and Rondell is a punk because Darcia ain't got no respect for her because ain't no way I'm going to let you stand behind me. You got to hold a shotgun in your hand. No way. So Darcia, that was a G move. Y'all ain't know it. That she like, look, I ain't even bothered by you. I'm so not moved by you. I'm going to let you stand behind me and you got the upper hand. I was like, girl. Rondell, you gotta get with it, sister. All right, so Purifoy and Titus are going to meet with Stephanie and her father to discuss the settlement or this lawsuit. And Mr. Carlisle tells Stephanie, look, you let me make all the negotiations. Do you hear me, child? Stephanie says, yes. We know Stephanie got to be in control. So they throw out some numbers. Titus, I think, speaks first and offers like 950 million or some crap. And I was like, oh my goodness, can I have a piece of that? Can y'all just give me 10%? And Stephanie was like, no. And she throws out some like 5 billion. And her daddy is pissed. He was like, didn't I just tell you not to say nothing? And she, Stephanie do not care at all. And she just like loving this because she gets to have Titus squirm and she gets to stick it to Purifoy because, she still has that grudge about her sister overdosing on their drugs. So Mr. Carlisle is visibly upset and Purifoy is like, I ain't giving you that type of money. Ain't no way I will die before I let y'all bankrupt me. And Mr. Carlisle starts talking, so we get a little bit of background story of how Mr. Carlisle was a lawyer for Purifoy's father, and he ended up losing everything. And he said he got disbarred and he lost everything, but he fought his way back up to the top just for this moment to G-check them, to put them in place. And we have a struggle of the old man struggle voices. And I was laughing so hard when Purifoy was like, when is it going to stop, Carlisle? I was like, that Carlisle. It had me laughing so hard. But Titus, and while they're saying that, I'm like, Titus, you not paying attention here because you kind of in the same situation. And you can see Titus his wheels are spinning because he's thinking about it. And I think that his conscience is getting to him because remember in the beginning, Stephanie talked about how he wanted to help the community. And, I think that's where his heart is. So he's conflicted. So we see this on Titus' face. Titus gets up and like, look, I got this. I'm going to take care of it. Won't you go ahead on and cool off? He says that to Purifoy, and Purifoy leaves out while Titus settles everything. Mr. Carlisle is like, I don't see how you could work with him. And he gives him the up and down look. And it was evil. I mean, he did that look. I wish I could play it, but I can't do it. So Mr. Carlisle leaves, so it's just Stephanie and Titus. And this Titus plays this scene so good, like this interaction between him, the Carlisles, and Purifoy, because I could feel the tension in the room. That's how good this scene was played. And they go back and forth and they negotiate. Stephanie, he throws out a number. Stephanie like, nah. Then she throws out a number and she's sitting there contemplating like, okay, hopefully he accepts. He goes and texts somebody and he's like, this bitch, like and he accepts the last number and it was their max. So Stephanie is happy, excited that she landed this and she got even more than her daddy was going to request. So Stephanie did that. And, she's power hungry, so she's going to use that to her advantage. The same detective comes back and lets Rondell know that she did the further investigation. She further investigated, and there was no evidence that Greg Peters was involved in the murder of her father. She hands over Senior's personal effects like the ring, the wallet, his phone, and all that. And Rondell is thankful for that. Greg goes home, and he talks to his daddy and lets his daddy know his daddy back in Serbia somewhere, that Natasha came here and now she done messed up so bad that she got them involved in a investigation. So the father gives power back to Greg, and Greg is having the security or whoever these dudes is take her away. So he has it handled, and he let her know, like, you ain't. She said something about that black. She called Stephanie a black slut, something like that. You know, you gotta be careful what you say on YouTube these days. But I was like, ooh. And told her, don't be talking about my baby like that. He didn't say that, but that's what the message that he gave off. And she's taken away. Greg goes and visits Stephanie, and they give each other the googly eyes. You can feel the chemistry in the room. And he lets her know that Natasha is gone. You ain't got nothing else to worry about it. And I took care of it for you. Like, so he like her knight in shining armor. And he kind of suggests to her that she divorces Evan. And Stephanie is like, I was thinking about that. So they get on to kissing, and they start getting it on. And we see the camera. Yes, that camera that I Spy Damien has installed. And Damien is like, gotcha, bitch. He over there laughing. So he got what he needed on Stephanie. But he's going to get her. I don't know what he's going to do to her. But we'll see part of it next episode. Perla is the maid at home in her studio apartment. I said, dang, Perla, like, I know why you upset. You get to see your friend living large, and you living in a studio apartment. Nothing ain't wrong with that. If you got a studio, hey, you got to do what you got to do. So the security dude came over, and when he put that gun on that table, and the way they focused on that, was like, this ain't going to turn out too good for him. So he's demanding sex from her, basically making her out of his sex slave. And she has to do everything he wants, or he going to go tell Evan. And it was just really creepy how he was getting on her. She was like, okay, come on, let's get it. So he throws her to the bed, thinking they about to have some wild, crazy business going on here. And she reaches over, grabs a knife, and proceeds to shanking him. And the look on her face, I was like, ooh, like she looked like she was enjoying it. It was creepy, but a good scene. And that's where we end off with episode 16. So Perla then shanked and possibly murked old security head dude. And we'll see how Evan and them find out and all that next episode. So I'll come back with that. It might be a day after this one. I don't know. I have a lot to do. But thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe,